Welcome to Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where tonight the only game in the Big East sees the Marquette Golden Eagles hosting the UConn Huskies. Alongside Nick Baugh, I'm Kevin Kugler. And Nick, with UConn on the docket tonight, we get to see James Bouknight, leading scorer in the league.
Arguably the best player in the Big East Conference as well. 23 points per game. Went off for 40 earlier this year against Creighton. He's an excellent athlete who knows how to use that athleticism to get to his spots on the floor and score. And his efficiency is tremendous. You see it 48% from the floor. This guy is a total superstar.
40 points in the Big East debut against Creighton this year. The Jeep Grand Cherokee starting lineups, you'll of course see Bouknight in there for UConn, but for Marquette, not necessarily one big scorer, but a lot of balance in that lineup.
No doubt about it, but if there is one Golden Eagle to watch, it's DJ Carton at that point guard spot. UConn really pressures the basketball, so DJ Carton has to take care of the basketball.
DJ Carton, the transfer from Ohio State, got a waiver to play right away this year, and Steve Wojciechowski happy to have that talented sophomore guard on his side. They'll need him tonight. Turnovers have been an issue. The turnover rate nearly 18% for Marquette, 221st in the nation. Not what you're looking for.
There's no question that turnovers is the #1 stat to watch for this game if you're Marquette. UConn really wants to pressure and turn you over.
Tyrese Martin, and speaking of a turnover, that's a turnover for UConn to start off the ball game.
And Kevin, when you're looking at Marquette, Dawson Garcia is a guy, number 33 in black, that I think needs to increase his aggressiveness. He's the second leading scorer on the team, but this McDonald's All-American, I think, has more to give on the offensive end. And Steve Wojciechowski told us this morning he wants to see him play with more force.
He's got it in his hands right now with 5 on the shot clock. Working against Adama Sanogo. 2 to shoot, goes up with it, can't get it to go, and the rebound snared by Isaiah Whaley.
A heck of a block out from Whaley, really physical.
This is a good rebounding team, this UConn team, especially on the offensive glass, where they lead the nation over 16 per game. Here's Bouknight on the drive. The underhand to Whaley, and the baseline jumper falls.
That's the intelligence from Bouknight. He knows how to make the right basketball play when he gets into the paint and gets a roll guy, an important one, Whaley, an easy one.
Kobe McEwen trying to get his offensive game going. Banging in the block, Theo John off the mark.
And Kevin, that's back-to-back excellent individual one-on-one post defense from this guy, Sanogo.
And Sanogo on the other end with a bucket, a rare one. He's had 8 points, Nick, in the last 3 games combined. If they can get points out of Sanogo, that's a real good sign for UConn on the road.
Yeah, and Coach Early brings Josh Carlton a big off the bench who can really score, but Sanogo, giving him the nod to start, I think infuses some confidence throughout the season here for Sanogo.
Dan Hurley, 3rd season as the Huskies head coach, and he has really sparked a renaissance in this UConn basketball program, which of course is now helped by joining the Big East, or should I say rejoining the Big East this season.
Just feels right. Yeah, the fit for UConn in the Big East, everyone is just thrilled to have the Huskies back.
Marquette final 25,
Kobe McEwen with his first personal foul. There's Steve Wojciechowski, his 7th year as the head man of the Golden Eagles. Couple of really good wins on the resume so far. The win on December 4th against Wisconsin, and then the win December 14th in Omaha against the Creighton Blue Jays.
And nobody has played a harder schedule than Marquette has. And they have really challenged themselves so far this season.
Runner on the way will not go, and the rebound for Sanogo. Here comes Bouknight on the attack, bumped by Carton. That'll be a foul on DJ Carton, his first, team's second.
Marquette.
Something I want everyone to watch is, yeah, you see Book Night, you see the highlights, and you see the 23 points per game. He has really improved with his off-ball movement, running off screens, understanding how to position himself to score when he catches the basketball off screens. You know, to score 23 a game when you're a marked man, you have to work off the ball, and I think Book Night's done that.
A conversation between Theo John and R.J. Cole as they get ready to inbound after the foul. Cole the bounce into Sanogo, and Sanogo gets the bounce on the rim, and UConn off to a good start on the road.
And this is what R.J. Cole can do, just harass you, make entering offense difficult, and all the other Huskies are going to look to deny the basketball as well. So it's just tough. You see a turnover potential.
Able to pick that one back up and keep it from being the turnover. Now the elbow jumper from Jamal Cain gets Marquette on the board, down 6-2.
Cain coming off a career high at Georgetown, 25 points. He was excellent in the second half. See if Cain can stay hot.
Book Night. Marquette shows that double quickly out there on the edge. Now Cole going to work. On the attack, the runner a little strong for Cole, and Carton skying for the rebound.
If I were Marquette, I would look to push it as much as I can off of a miss after a rebound and open floor situation.
Book Night, the rebound off that miss from Garcia. Taking the corner, here's Tyrese Carton on the run, off balance, doesn't go. Garcia the rebound.
Kevin, I think the more you can play early in possessions, the more the pressure gets mitigated. So they're deep post position, all because you attacked early in the possession so that defense couldn't sink their teeth into the Golden Eagles.
Theo John on the other end gets deep in the post. Good feed, and John brings Marquette within 2, down 6-4.
Kevin, isn't it amazing how much Theo John's improved offensively? And from his freshman year until now, it's remarkable the progress he's made offensively.
Came in averaging 8 points per game tonight on the season, 5 a year ago. He was a shot blocker primarily, but now he's a legitimate offensive threat. And a whistle away from the ball and a foul. Marquette wearing black uniforms tonight. We're going to tell you why when we return. Earlier today, Kenosha County District Attorney Michael Gravely announced that no Kenosha law enforcement officer will be charged with any criminal offense related to the officer-involved shooting of 29-year-old Jacob Blake in Kenosha in August of 2020. The Marquette basketball team issued the following statement earlier today. Our program has decided to wear black uniforms for tonight's game in support of Jacob Blake, his family, and the Kenosha community in reaction to the announcement earlier today. We're extremely disappointed in the decision involving Jacob's shooting, and we will continue to use our platform to advocate and fight for racial justice. This is another reminder that just because racial and social injustice hasn't received as much attention recently, doesn't mean the need to fight against it has gone away. Again, that statement released earlier today by Marquette's basketball program. The black uniforms worn tonight, part of their efforts to use their platform to affect change in society. On the court now at Fiserv Forum, where Marquette trails UConn by 2 in the early going alongside Nick Baugh and Kevin Kugler. Wonderful to have you with us tonight for some Big East basketball on FS1.
I'll tell you when I'm ready.
One nice thing about and there are very few things about the empty arenas, but you can hear the instructions from the officials a little clearer.
And Marquette's gone to the bench. Justin Lewis into the game. Really, really capable scorer with the ball now.
There goes Lewis inside, and he walked with it. Symir Torrance you saw out there as well, who started that possession, the 6'3 sophomore, but Lewis with the turnover back to UConn.
And that's what UConn will do to you. They just get you sped up and thinking about them in every area offensively. So whether it's just passing on the wing, handling the ball, or even when you get to the rim, you know the Huskies are coming to block shots. And sometimes that can cause you to shuffle your feet and turn the rock over.
2 turnovers. We're going to keep an eye on turnovers all night. Steve Wojciechowski said that was a big emphasis in this game today as UConn turns it right back over. Each team with a pair of turnovers.
Yeah, I asked Wojo, what's the most important thing with your team? And he said offensively, taking care of the basketball. And certainly when that's the #1 point emphasis and you're taking on UConn, that can be a little bit stressful.
Especially live ball turnovers. He was very concerned about those as Jamal Cain will go to work. Gets into the paint, turnaround jumper a little strong, and a rebound by Isaiah Whaley. Booknight on the attack, trying to get to the baseline. He's bumped there by Jamal Cain. That's the first on Cain, 3rd team foul.
Now, Kevin, we're almost 6 minutes into this thing, and Booknight's already drawn 2 fouls. Just putting pressure on the defense. He's averaging 7 free throw attempts a game. He puts so much pressure on you, and that's another reason why he scores at a high clip, because he gets to the line and he's shooting 80% from the line.
He may as well dribble around with a neon sign above his head because he draws attention from every single player on the court. Here he goes again, and that foul on the outside is a turnover back the other way.
Kevin, we've talked about UConn's pressure. A great place to alleviate on-ball pressure is to throw the ball into the post, because oftentimes you have a lot of space. You're operating one-on-one. So post touches to Theo John and Justin Lewis are going to be important.
Offensive foul on Marquette, #4.
That's a foul on Theo John. Offensive foul, his first. 4th team foul on Marquette. 1 team foul on Sanogo for UConn. And Hurley said it earlier, Nick. We may have a depth advantage. That's a quote from the UConn head coach. And part of that depth advantage comes from Booknight being able to get other guys in foul trouble.
No doubt about it. And that's where I know the 2 fouls we've seen so far, they don't seem like a big deal, but it adds up because you get to that bonus quicker and it makes a difference.
Oh, a nice find from Gaffney to Josh Carlton for the 2-hand flush and an 8-4 UConn lead.
And UConn brings solid contributors off the bench. Carlton, Gaffney, these guys. Pauly comes in and can really stroke it. Very deep balanced group too.
Garcia, the open 3. That rolls home. He's a 37% shooter from behind the arc. The talented freshman on the board with his first 3.
I love Garcia's patience, but I watch him play and I think, man, put the foot on the gas, young fella. Be more aggressive, because he is a handful when he's attacking the score.
Booknight from that elbow jumper, unable to get it down, and the rebound by Greg Elliott. Good job keeping his dribble alive as Marquette started up the floor. Took a step back from Lewis, not going to go. Rebound loose, picked up by UConn. Booknight on the push. Booknight end-to-end, driving into traffic, muscling it up and over the front of the rim.
He is so tough with a head of steam in the open floor when the defense is backpedaling. He's a great athlete. He's got great body control. He can elevate. And Kevin, he's shooting 58% from 2-point range. I mean, his efficiency is high.
And Nick, we talked about it for the first 8 minutes. That's his first 2 points. He's impacted the game in so many ways as Garcia with a right-hand hook gets Marquette within 1.
It's a good place to go into the post. Again, you're going to have one-on-one post opportunities. UConn's likely not going to come with a double team. I think guys like Garcia and John and Lewis are going to have chances to score.
And the turnover, Gaffney trying to bounce it through traffic to Carlton, can't get it to him. And the turnover right back to Marquette.
Turnover number 5. And UConn's only played 2 games in 27 days. So it's been an extremely disjointed start to the season for Dan Hurley's crew. And oftentimes that disjointed nature can manifest itself in turnovers. I think that's what you've seen here so far.
Yeah, 6 games they've lost to cancellation or postponement. 4 of them in Big East play already. That is this basketball season. Everybody's got to be a little patient and a lot flexible. Loose ball scooped up by Josh Carlton. UConn on the run. Martin going all the way to the rack. That won't go. Carton pops up with the rebound. Here's McEwen. You heard the scream shooter as he launched and hit the three.
Shooting 41% from three this season. He was ice cold from three last year. Just was in a slump that couldn't really get out of it. But a really capable scorer when he is playing with confidence.
In the corner trying to answer the three, won't go. There for the rebound, Tyrese Martin. That won't go. UConn cold for the moment. Martin 1 on 3. Didn't care as he gets the kind roll.
Boy, great body control to sidestep the defense. And, you know, we asked Coach Wojciechowski, is there a guy that you feel like's got another level to go up? And he immediately said, DJ Carton. He needs to take it up a notch. Obviously, for your team to be good, your point guard has to be good, and that's Carton.
Brendan Adams got to look from three. Not going to go. Offensive rebound for the best offensive rebounding team in the country. And that ball loose and a foul going the other way against UConn. Josh Carlton with the foul.
Kevin, you're seeing Marquette starting to settle in a little bit as Dawson Garcia drills one. And the Utah State transfer, Kobe McEwen, buries a triple.
Big East basketball is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Jeep, there's only one. Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where we have Big East basketball tonight with Marquette leading UConn 14-10. Kevin Kugler alongside Nick Baugh. Turnovers were a big concern for Marquette, but so far, Nick, it's been a problem for UConn.
Yeah, and Marquette, well, they don't have the reputation of UConn in terms of turning you over. We know what Steve Wojciechowski was all about as a player. I mean, in your face, pressuring you, making things difficult. And I think you've seen that from Marquette in the half court. Certainly some of these turnovers for UConn have been self-inflicted. But Marquette's a big physical team, especially on that front line, that wants to bully you. And so far, UConn's not handled the ball well.
It's crazy, though. Neither team has taken advantage of turnovers. UConn with 2 points off turnovers. Marquette has not scored off any of the 5 Connecticut turnovers tonight. Garcia with the shot clock at 10. A handoff to Jamal Cain as he turns the corner and can't get it to roll in against UConn. Back it goes. Carton for 3. That spins out, and Tyrese Martin with the rebound for the Huskies. Falling to the floor is Brendan Adams, and got a whistle. Adams lost his footing. And a timeout taken by the Huskies to save the possession. Adams limping a little bit as he fell down. While they head to the bench, we will step aside from Milwaukee. UConn 5 of 14 from the floor to start. 0 of 3 from 3. Marquette 6 of 15 and 2 for 4 from three-point range. It'll be UConn basketball off the timeout, Nick Baugh.
And UConn, take a look at Gaffney up top. Watch him fight through traffic to cut off the driving angle for DJ Carton. This is a set play to get Carton with his left hand. Watch him slide through it, chest him up, fight the dribble, fight over another screen. Just excellent one-on-one defense from Jalen Gaffney.
He put on about 15 pounds in the offseason, said he was tired of getting bumped around, and you can see that extra physicality helping him fight through those screens.
And the 15 pounds of muscle also helps your mentality. You feel tougher, you feel stronger, and so you play with a different mindset on defense.
Tried those extra 15 pounds during the quarantine. It hasn't made me feel any tougher. I don't know why. Cain spins in the paint, and the jumper falls for Jamal Cain. He's got a couple, and Marquette's up 16-10.
He's hit 2 pretty tough little mid-range jump shots. And sometimes that's the kind of shot you're going to get against UConn because there's shot blockers at the rim, so you maybe need to stop at 12 and pull up.
UConn trying to snap this 9-0 Marquette run. Gaffney will back it out with 8 to shoot. Gaffney turning the corner on John, finds Carlton in the paint. He looks surprised to catch the ball, and the shot was short.
I think the ball is trying to get kicked out to the three-point line, but UConn needs to get Bouknight and Cole back into the game to find some rhythm offensively.
We're waiting at the scorer's table right now as DJ Carton will step back for the deep 2, and it's an 18-10 Marquette lead and 11-0 Golden Eagles run.
That's just a big-time individual one-on-one offensive play from DJ Carton.
On the bounce to Carlton, posting up against John. Turning into the Marquette big man. Can't get it to go. Carlton trying to get the rebound, commits the personal foul, and a timeout on the floor.
Okay, Kevin, coming off a career high at Georgetown, 25 points. Jamal Cain is in a pretty good rhythm. Little mid-range fall away. All Golden Eagles early.
Your tag team duo tonight, Kevin Kugler and Nick Baum. Marquette with an 11-0 run in the last 4 minutes and 55 seconds. Steve Wojciechowski delighted, I promise you, behind that mask. But if you're going to get back into this game, Nick, seems like James Bouknight's going to have to take over a little bit for UConn.
Yeah, only one made field goal, 2 points for Bouknight. He's got to get rolling. And talking about a guy that averages 23 points per game. Your star has to shine bright if you want to win on the road.
Lawson Garcia from Marquette. They enter to John. John against Sanogo. Turns with the left-hand hook, and that falls for Theo John. He's got 4 right before the break. The foul on Josh Carlton of UConn, Nick, his second, and he sits down.
That's important. Now the freshman Sanogo's got to play extended minutes, and you know Marquette's going to test it.
Still a lid on that basket, and finally the lid is ripped off by Isaiah Whaley to stop the 13-0 Marquette run.
You see they dialed up the elbow isolation drive for Bouknight. That created the rotation rebounding opportunity. So Bouknight was involved, and he ended up with 2 points.
5 offensive rebounds for the best offensive rebounding team in the country, UConn, and a turnover by Marquette as Garcia with the travel.
If I'm Dan Hurley, I'm going right back to Bouknight, in some capacity. Whether you want to get him on a baseline runner where he's got to run that baseline and come off screens, or if you want to put him in a ball screen, want to put him on the elbow and let him drive. Again, you have to get him involved in the game offensively. So here he comes.
R.J. Cole. There's Bouknight. Bouknight. Nowhere to go. Stifled by Kobe McEwen. Tyrese Martin. Bouknight with 5 on the shot clock. Gonna have to hurry. Pull-up jumper from 13 won't go. Rebound tipped around and a foul called underneath. Believe on Justin Lewis of Marquette. Nope, on 23, Jamal Cain. So Cain picks up the personal foul. I believe number 2 on Jamal Cain.
That's an important foul. If there's one area of concern, it's backcourt depth for the Golden Eagles. But all of a sudden, UConn's got 6 offensive rebounds. They're kind of starting to smell blood when the ball goes up on the glass.
The entry to Sanogo taken away. And Marquette going the other way with the UConn turnover. There's Lewis and a whistle and a foul. That's Sanogo, who picks up his second. So big-time foul trouble in the post. The only players with fouls for UConn, Sanogo and Carlton.
You could see a scenario where UConn's going to have to play small. And that guy right there is a pretty dangerous stretch 4 in Tyler Pauly. And he led the team in three-point shooting a year ago, shooting 40%. So now the defensive assignments for Marquette change when Pauly's in the game at the 4.
John a little strong, tried to tip, it couldn't go. That's where they want to play those. Rojo telling us earlier today, our team's at its best when we play through the paint. On the drive, Isaiah Whaley, the foul on the floor, waving off the shot.
Theo John's second personal.
Second foul on Theo John, so 2 on John and 2 on Kane.
And Kevin, now with Dan Hurley not having 2 true bigs on the floor, the floor is going to get spaced with Pauly at the 4. There's going to be more room, and what that means to me is Bouknight's going to have more real estate to operate.
Here he goes, trying to find some of that real estate on the baseline. The double team came. Pauly on the drive. Tough pull-up. That won't go, but there's Bouknight with the offensive rebound and the tip-in.
7 offensive boards for the Huskies. Their best offense has been getting it off the rim so far.
4 second-chance points off those offensive rebounds. Wide open 3 from Justin Lewis won't go. He has struggled from behind the arc, just 5 of 20 on the year coming in. Here's Bouknight trying to get a rhythm going. That won't go, and out of bounds. Last touched by Marquette.
Regular 13, RJ.
Substitution now for Marquette. DJ Carton's going to get a breather before the under 4 timeout. Bouknight just 4 points so far on 2 for 7 shooting.
Our cameras have shown him a couple times. He looks like he's breathing heavy tonight.
Look at baseline. Bouknight and going the other way. Offensive foul against UConn.
Play from Samir Torrance.
Tyrese Martin.
Setting his feet, taking a charge. Those are kind of plays that can settle you in. Torrance coming off the bench. Any play at all goes in that confidence bank, and it makes you feel better about yourself.
Hewitt. Probing, nothing there. Nice dump off at the end, and that is Justin Lewis, who is fouled. Patience underneath the basket for Marquette offensively.
Boy, Kevin, I don't know how Kobe McEwen saw Lewis. This is an excellent pass. And a good shot fake and drawing a foul. And so foul trouble, we pointed out, mounting in the front line for UConn.
First on Tyler Pauly. Off the inbound, McEwen got in the air, got caught. Poked out of the hands of McEwen by Isaiah Whaley, and 10 on the shot clock for Marquette.
Good activity from Whaley, defending that ball screen. Active, engaged, gets a deflection.
Up 6, going to work with McEwen. Kobe McEwen turning the corner, driving inside, won't go. Rebound, Bouknight. UConn looking to push. They have numbers, 4 on 3. Bouknight in the corner to Cole. The jumper up and short. The rebound by Kobe McEwen. McEwen lobbing underneath, all alone Dawson Garcia.
And that's where Marquette needs to look to attack. More opportunities early in possessions. When that defense isn't completely set, I think works to their advantage. And another good pass off of penetration from Kobe McEwen.
7 first half points for Garcia. Bouknight with the pass fake, tips his own miss in, and James Bouknight has 6.
I like Bouknight staying aggressive. He's got to continue to attack, to create opportunities, rotation rebounds. Had a good kick out to R.J. Cole in the previous transition opportunity. He's got to stay aggressive.
There's Garcia against Whaley. Gonna bang his way inside, muscled it up through contact, got his own back. Look what I found, says Garcia. Driving it up, no. Garcia again, yes.
Great sequence for Dawson Garcia. couple of good shot fakes, under control. Really good from the freshman.
Ball knocked free of Bouknight. Scooped up by Marquette to the other end, and a one-hand hammer for Justin Lewis, and a timeout for UConn as Marquette has stretched the lead again.
How about Dawson Garcia off the look from Kobe McEwen? Gorgeous 10-point lead for Marquette.
If the score isn't bad enough for UConn fans, the image of James Bouknight being worked on by the athletic training staff is enough to make you sick to your stomach if you're a Husky fan, and this is where he got hurt.
Yeah, take a look on the dive on the ground. Kobe McEwen landed on the left arm elbow. Good look at it here. Take a look at the left elbow. Kobe McEwen's going to land on it. Bouknight immediately in pain. Certainly something to keep an eye on as the Big East leading scorer at 23 points per game will sit on the bench now.
Nick, the question becomes, where does UConn go for offense down 10 and with the image of your top offensive threat on the sidelines in obvious agony?
Well, I think, first of all, use your defense for your offense. Create turnovers. Get out in the open floor to find some ones. But this guy right here, R.J. Cole, talking about a guy that averaged 20 a game last year at Howard. So he's more of a capable scorer than he's shown so far this season, only averaging 10 points per game. But, Kevin, I think it all starts with the defense creating offense for UConn. That's how I would look at it.
He fouled on his way to the rim. That foul on the floor, but it was the 7th team foul against Marquette. So a 1-and-1 opportunity for Gaffney, and he'll get the bonus.
Checking in for Marquette 21, BJ.
It was the 2nd foul on Kobe McEwen, so lost in a lot of this. There is some foul trouble mounting for Marquette. Kane, McEwen, and John each with 2 in this first half.
So far, Kevin, Marquette's really handled the ball well, but I like this move from UConn. You got to infuse some energy into your defense, because that's ultimately where UConn's bread is buttered.
Sprung that trap on Carton just across the timeline. Had some help from Symir Torrance. Shot clock at 15 as they get set. Lewis will hand it off to Torrance. Nowhere to go on this possession so far from Marquette. They're going to have to hurry. 4 to shoot. Torrance, a contested 3. That falls.
Man, I was just getting ready to say best defensive possession of the game for UConn, and Marquette throws in a desperation 3 at the end of the shot clock.
Now R.J. Cole pushed out by this Marquette defense. In some trouble along the sidelines. Whaley got rid of it. And now Gaffney the 3, trying to answer, cannot. Lewis the board for Marquette.
Like bad balance from Gaffney. He was leaning back in the corner and left it short. But if you're UConn, you can't get discouraged with what happened at the end of that last possession. You had a great engaged active defensive sequence. Got to stay locked in.
Carton the 3, off the heel. Offensive rebound, Dawson Garcia. Now the drive. Elliott will back out. There's Carton again from the top with 10 on the shot clock. Turns down the screen, drives left side of the lane. Oh, what a shot! Muscling it up as he fell on his backside. That's 31-18.
Carton has done a good job playing cat and mouse with those high ball screens and varying it which way he comes off it, left or right. Makes it hard for the hedge man to be there to slow him down.
Good ball movement here for UConn as Isaiah Whaley throws it down with 2 hands.
It's a really good pass, post to post as well from UConn, from Carlton dropping it down.
Dan Hurley said of Isaiah Whaley, he's a critical guy. We need him. He has to be better. Carton, the 3 not going to go. The rebound to R.J. Cole. They're going to need Whaley even more if Bouknight can't get back after the elbow injury. 3 for Cole is good.
he can do that, Kevin. Again, 21 points per game. He scored over 1,500 points in 2 seasons at Howard. He is a more than capable scorer.
Timeout in Marquette. We'll step aside for a quick break as well. Coming up on the Jeep halftime report, Mike Hill and Jim Jackson break down the Big East Player of the Year debate, and we'll have first half stats and analysis. That's coming up on the Jeep halftime report. A 31-23 lead for Marquette. 23.5 seconds remaining in the first half. Golden Eagles can hold for the final shot here, shooting 45% from the floor and holding UConn to 33% in this first half.
Good offense with Carton with these high ball screens. He's made it hard on the defender and choosing different ways to come off the screen where the hedge man hasn't been. So a screen will come. You got to communicate if you're UConn where you're sending it.
Carton ready to go. Open three. That's Lewis. It pinballs out. Rebound Tyrese Martin. Martin half-court heave. It is no good. Halftime has arrived in Milwaukee, and the home team enjoying a 31-23 lead at the break.
Pretty good half for the Marquette Golden Eagles in the turnover department. Handled the ball well, but certainly UConn, all eyes going to be on James Bouknight and whether or not his elbow's okay for this second half.
Jeep halftime report coming up next. Marquette 31, UConn 23 as we get ready to start this second half. Kevin Kugler alongside Nick Baugh. You see James Bouknight. He is out there, has a wrap now on that left arm where he injured what looked like his elbow as Kobe McEwen fell on him in that first half. And the first half highlights, Nick, Dawson Garcia, big first half for Marquette.
9 points, did a lot of good things. The McDonald's All-American showing you his versatility, did a good job in the post, but James Bouknight, before he got hurt, really struggled to get things going. Only a couple of points for him, and there's the play where Kobe McEwen landed on that left elbow. So it's good to see him back out there. As you notice, did not have a sleeve on that elbow. He's got one now for this second half.
Our first half stats sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee, and you see the shooting percentage for UConn was just 33%, 1 of 6 from three-point land, and the turnovers, which have been the concern of Steve Wojciechowski, were actually a bigger problem in the first half for UConn.
And only 4 turnovers for Marquette, and we got to give some love to DJ Carton, and the guy played 17 minutes in that first half and didn't have a single turnover. But all eyes are on that guy right there, James Bouknight, 23 points per game, and he had 40 points earlier this year against Creighton. He's a big-time scorer and the most important Husky, so we'll see how that left elbow feels here for this second half.
He was working with James Doran, the athletic trainer for UConn's basketball program. As he came out of the locker room and started to warm up, he was watching him, James Doran, watching Bouknight dribble, flex that arm, trying to find a way to make sure he could go. And we'll keep an eye on that as this half wears on.
And UConn's got to start setting the tone defensively and making Marquette uncomfortable.
Goes on the double, passes out of the double to Garcia, and a foul is called.
You see James Bouknight at halftime. You see he's in pain. There's no question about it. But he's going to try and gut through it here.
It's going to be interesting to see when he runs into contact. A physical game in a physical league, you know contact is coming. We'll see how he absorbs that when it happens. Garcia working inside against Sanogo, and Garcia playing with force, which is something Steve Wojciechowski wanted his youngster to do.
And playing with patience in the post as well. A couple of shot fakes. Again, you got some eager Huskies wanting to block shots, so a couple of head and shoulders fakes to do you well inside.
Trying to get it inside to Bouknight, and it's taken away from the talented sophomore.
And you wonder how strong Bouknight can be with the ball, squeezing that rock.
Double comes, John's in trouble, needs some help, and he got it. McEwen to work against Bouknight. Now back to John. John doubles as he turns into the corner. The three is off, no good, and a foul is called on Garcia, trying to fight through Tyrese Martin for the rebound.
So we've already seen an adjustment, Kevin. UConn coming with a post double team. I think one of the reasons is that helps protect foul trouble. So you don't see as much one-on-one post situations. But if you're Marquette and you're the shooters, you got to start getting ready to knock down shots when that ball gets sprayed out from a double team.
Bouknight got rid of it. Now back to work. Under 10 as Cole turns the corner, blocked inside by Carton. Loose ball scooped up by Marquette.
You wonder what's the difference between a mid-major and a high major. Plays like that at the rim, a little bit different than it is at Howard for R.J. Cole.
That's a goaltend, and Marquette gets the bucket. Kobe McEwen gets two more.
And Kevin, you were pointing it out with James Bouknight on contact with that elbow. And he plays an aggressive attacking style. We told you he averages 7 free throw attempts a game as you see Sanogo put his arm through the rim for the block shot. But it'll be interesting to see how Bouknight can be attacking with confidence with that elbow.
And there's a hold. McEwen trying to keep Bouknight from knifing through the lane from right to left is called for the hold.
We haven't done a good enough job of praising Kobe McEwen. He's done a really good job on Bouknight. He's fought through screens. He's fought the dribble. He's done a nice job, but now he's got 3 personal fouls.
There he goes to the bench with those 5 points and 3 fouls. See if they can get Bouknight involved more now as he's matched up against Jamal Cain for the moment. Bouknight step back deep 2, will not go. Rebound, Theo John rips it away. Carton accelerating, open in the corner. Greg Elliott's 3 falls. Marquette with a 38-23 lead.
Elliott's an efficient shooter. He shoots better than 52% from 3. And he can knock it down.
Cole gonna back it out. Oh, he'll launch the deep one. Not gonna go. One and done again for UConn, and Marquette trying to take advantage of good defense and turn it into offense. Garcia off the behind the back feed from DJ Carton. Marquette with back-to-back triples, and it's 41-23 and a timeout taken by UConn.
What a start to this second half for the Golden Eagles. Filling it up from beyond the arc, and the McDonald's All-American. He's loving it.
Marquette has come roaring out of the locker room in the second half behind Dawson Garcia, the Big East freshman of the week, and Garcia helping out a 10-0 run to start the second half for Marquette, up now 41-23.
He's been awesome. 6 of 9 from the floor. And the beauty of Garcia is how he can do it from all different places on the floor. You see the 2 for 2 from 3. He can also post up and score. You can throw it to him in the post. You can pick and pop with him. And his efficiency throughout the season has been impressive. There's no question he's been the best player on the floor here tonight.
Now, the question for UConn is, where is the offensive answer? And not on the floor off the timeout, James Bouknight. Cole has to back this one out. 10 on the shot clock. The entry to Sanogo. One-on-one against John. Sanogo lost that dribble, got it back. The fade away, not going to go. Marquette will start it the other way.
A big-time one-on-one post defense from a guy that's top 5 all-time in Marquette history and block shots, Theo John.
Played last year with that broken wrist. He had surgery in May. 4 games already, scoring in doubles this year. The foul underneath against Sunogo. As you look at Bouknight on the bench, and that's James Doran, the athletic trainer, that's over talking with him. And clearly, Nick, that elbow is still bothering the Big East leading scorer.
No doubt about it. And it'll be interesting to see if Bouknight comes back into this game.
In the corner. I felt good about that three. It wouldn't go down. And Cole will start it up for UConn. Still have not scored in this second half. And that tip will fall for Isaiah Whaley.
Again, the turnovers were going to tell the tale. And Marquette's done a really good job taking care of the basketball. But if you're UConn, you have to start wreaking havoc on this end of the floor if you're going to chip into this lead.
Only 4 turnovers tonight for Marquette. They average 14 per game in conference play. Garcia just having his way down the middle of the lane, backing all the way to the rim.
But how many players have a 6'11" four-man that can dribble under control all the way to the rim and score? I mean, that's just hard to defend.
And poked away underneath. That's a foul on Greg Elliott, who picks up his first and takes us to immediate timeout at Fiserv Forum. It has been all Marquette in this second half, outscoring UConn 12-2. And the Golden Eagles with a 43-25 lead, paced by Dawson Garcia with 16. Excited to be with you tonight. Kevin Kugler alongside Nick Boff, the only Big East game of the night. And here we go. Happy birthday to Lou. 96 for the legendary head coach of St. John's. Happy 96th birthday. Head coach of St. John's starting in 1965, left from 1971 to 73 to coach the New York Nets in the ABA, came back in March of 73, and you know the rest. 5 Big East titles, 2 tournament titles, 3-time Big East Coach of the Year. Lou Carter II, 96 years old today. Happy birthday to one of the all-time greats and one of the legends of this league.
No doubt about it. One of the legendary figures of the Big East Conference. Happy 96, Coach.
Moving the ball around, got an open look for Brendan Adams, and Adams with a gigantic 3 for UConn. They're going to need more of that to come back in this one.
And they're going to need more stops. Got to start stringing some stops together, and Marquette's just been terrific handling the rock so far today.
Carton, extra pass in the corner. Jamal Kane trying to find room on the baseline. Here's Carton attacking, fakes the pass, rejected inside. Terrific defense for UConn. That was Isaiah Whaley. And Pauly with the 3, back-to-back triples for the Huskies, and here comes UConn on the road, a 6-0 spurt in under 45 seconds.
Finally, a sequence that looks like UConn basketball. Scott Marquette sped up, get a block shot, turn it into points the other way, and just like that, Steve Wojciechowski calls timeout. See, just a great job by Whaley, not going for the ball fake. And Carton would have gotten it as well if Whaley wasn't there. But then you saw finally the defense creating offense. And you get an open floor situation, defense not set. Tyler Pauly drills it. He cut the lead to 12.
Still plenty of time, 14:24 remaining in this second half. But UConn doing it without, right now at least, James Bouknight, the Big East leading scorer and the player that Steve Wojciechowski said has been the best in the league to this point this season. Late in the first half, Kobe McEwen, if you're joining us late, diving for a loose ball, fell on the elbow of Bouknight. He had it wrapped. He's got a sleeve on it. Tried to start this second half. Played first couple of minutes. Headed to the bench. We've not seen him since. Here's Garcia on the drive to the basket, and that's a foul. He'll go to the line for a pair. Josh Carlton coming over with the ball.
These two freshman bigs play well together. They got great basketball feel. And the hard cut off of the post entry, and Lewis, a willing passer. And I tell you what, if Dawson Garcia didn't cast such a large shadow being a McDonald's All-American, we'd be talking a lot more about Justin Lewis. 8 points per game, 6 rebounds. We all know about the game-winning tip-in against Wisconsin. That guy right there, really good player.
He's just trying to find his range from 3 right now, Nick. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He's 0 for 12 over the last 4 games from deep. That's what's kept Justin Lewis on ice a little bit tonight and over the last few games. Is that long-range jumper not falling, but everything falling for Dawson Garcia right now. He's got 18.
And a good timeout and an answer from Marquette to stop the bleeding momentarily.
Wallace fakes the 3, driving baselines with a 2, and Tyler Pauley stepping things up when they need a score. He's got 5.
I think he's a really important Husky because he allows you to play a little bit smaller and gives the opponent a different look when he's at that 4. You saw him knock down a 3, and then there a drive to the basket.
He was not available for the Creighton game. UConn's only lost a 2-point thriller due to COVID protocol. You wonder if he'd been there, would he have been enough to make a difference in that one? And the pocket pick, that's Isaiah Whaley with the steal, and a foul on Symir Torrance trying to get it back.
It's just amazing what playing hard does. UConn, the last couple of defensive possessions have been by far their most active and engaged defensively, and they've got a block shot, they get a turnover. And if you're Marquette, what you can't do is get on your heels. You've done a good job handling the ball because you've attacked the pressure. What pressure wants you to do, Kevin, is get you to lean back, play offense with the parking brake on, be 22 feet from the basket. If you're Marquette, you got to fight that.
Got a whistle on a foul away from the ball. And that's going to go against, or is it a timeout? May have been a timeout utilized. Officials are going to go over to the scorer's table. Either that or a clock issue, waiting to get official word.
I didn't see anything that would have been a foul off the ball, so I have to think it's a shot clock. As you see in the corner right here, 29, there certainly was more than 1 second on that possession, so I think they're going to maybe take a look at the shot clock.
That is what they're doing, checking the clock here. See if the shot clock and get it set correctly.
See, it stops at 29.
Clearly?
Yep.
Sometimes it feels like time stops when I get to work with Nick Bob, but that is not the case. They actually did have time continue to elapse off the clock. Gives everybody an opportunity to reset here. 45-33, 13:23 to play in this one. Marquette's largest lead, 18 points, 43-25. Let's go back in time a little bit, speaking of time, to January 3rd, 2006. Marquette and UConn played, and it was Marquette's first league game as a Big East member. Marquette was 10-3. UConn, number 2 in the country, they were 11-0. But this game goes down in history as the Steve Novak game. Novak had 41 points, a Big East record for a debut in a game, and the Golden Eagles rolled 94-79 in that one. And the highlight of the evening, Jim Calhoun's post-game presser. He wasn't happy with his team. He said they were playing for the large number of pro scouts at the game. They weren't playing for the team, they were playing for the scouts, said Coach Calhoun. And we talk about James Bouknight, Nick, and James Bouknight nearly got to that Steve Novak record in the UConn re-entry game into the Big East. His debut against Creighton, he had 40 points in that one.
He was sensational in that game against the Blue Jays. And obviously it's been a rough night for him. He's still rubbing that elbow. Hurt it in the first half. I'm sure we're going to see him again. And feels like a little bit of momentum potentially building for UConn here over the last couple of minutes.
cash in on it. Good position by Carlton, and they found him on the block, and UConn back with intent.
A great execution to get Carlton an angle for a seal and a good post entry.
To run for the Huskies. Marquette looking for the answer. Here's Theo John. There's that post double. Put around the perimeter to Torrance. Symir Torrance's three won't go, and Isaiah Whaley boxing out for the rebound. He's in double figures now. Quickly down the floor. Tyler Polley's three. Pinballs out. Rebound back tap by Carlton. The three by Cole won't go. Carlton battling for it again, and it'll stay with UConn as it went off the outstretched arm of Justin Lewis.
Now the team in white's the team that's playing harder, and by far the most active and engaged the bench has been as well. You can hear the chatter from them, but here come the starters back into the game. Garcia, McEwen, and Carton.
Cole looking, the bounce in. Whaley with the left hand. What did we get told today, or this week, by Dan Hurley, that Isaiah Whaley needs to bring double-figure points and close to double-figure rebounds? How about a 10 and 10 on the board so far for Whaley?
And Whaley finished the season so strong last year when a Cook went down. Last 6 games, he averaged 13 points per game, so you know it's there for Whaley, and he grabs another board.
And a timeout on the floor. It is all UConn right now, Nick.
It is. Whaley, little lefty jump hook, good execution on the baseline out of bounds. A little bit of a run for the Huskies.
UConn has closed an 18-point gap down to 8 as we welcome you back to Fiserv Forum. Last 3 buckets for the Huskies.
They're doing a nice job turning defense into offense. Pauly with a little shot fake and drive into the basket. Great execution out of a timeout to get Carlton a shot. And then another good sequence of execution on a baseline out of bounds to get a cross screen for Whaley, who's into double figures with 10 points. And who would have thought, with Bouknight on the bench, that UConn would find some life and cut into this lead? And now it's Marquette's turn to answer.
Offensive rebounds, it's a strength of UConn. In fact, nobody does it better in the country. 16.2 per game for the Huskies this year. They lead the nation. And it's helping them again tonight as Whaley left alone. He'll launch and hit the three. Whaley brings UConn within 5, 45-40.
Whaley, a senior, has 2 3-point attempts on his career. And there's one of them going down.
He is now 1 for 2.
He needs more shots. That's too good of a percentage. You got to get him more looks from 3.
That's his message on Monday of next week when they go back to work. And a foul is called as Garcia drives the baseline and picks up the contact of the foul.
There's no question that this second half, the best pressure release has been Garcia driving the basketball, getting him the ball in pick and pops or reversals. He's been really important, not just scoring, but alleviating the half-court pressure from the Huskies.
4th foul, Nick, on Josh Carlton. So big-time issues in the post for UConn. 4 for Carlton, and in comes Sanogo, who has 3 of his own. Look who's back on the floor. James Bouknight going to give it another go with that injured elbow. Garcia with 20 and a 47-40 lead for Marquette.
So with 2 bigs on the floor, there's not as much space in the interior, but the execution's been a lot sharper in the second half for UConn.
The bounce to Sanogo. Working against Theo John. Right-hand hook. Spins out. Won't go. Followed by Whaley. That's not there. We've got a whistle. And out of bounds to Marquette.
Pretty good activity from Whaley. So now if you're Marquette, and just high pick and rolls with Garcia and Carton have been really good for the Golden Eagles.
Foul. That's Knight on the outside with his second.
Well, did you see Coach McEwen? He sensed the outstretched arms and he just ripped right through the arms to draw the contact and get the official to blow the whistle. That's just a savvy veteran move from a senior. Take a look at it. So he's going to see the arm right there, rip right through it, right through the contact. Strong, and Knight knew it.
John against Sonogo. Double team comes. Ewan will back out now near the logo. Knight on him. The bounce, Garcia, that's a deep three. Off the heel, the rebound for UConn. Sonogo to Knight. They're looking to turn that corner. Garcia has him. Scoops toward the rim, that'll be a foul. Garcia was the nearest body defending, and Garcia picks up a second.
And you see Gaffney attacking, a little bit of contact there, and I just think UConn, we talked about their energy and activity defensively, but I even think offensively, they've run offense with more purpose. The ball is swung from side to side, they've set good screens, they've gotten a piece of the paint, they've shared the ball. Much better.
Back to a 5-point game. It was 18 points just 6 minutes ago in favor of Marquette.
If I'm Marquette, if UConn's going to continue to double the post, you're going to get good looks if you throw it into the paint, where you can get some open jumpers on the weak side.
That energy for UConn, especially defensively, has really ratcheted up. Garcia, 4 on the shot clock, going to work against Whaley. Turns in the paint, left-hand hook short. Knight on the attack, through contact, rebound Theo John. There's Carton in the paint, off the jump stop, ball tipped away into the corner. It's Holly who's starting up the floor. Holly end to end, all the way to the rim, count it, and a foul.
Wow, heck of a transition push from Pauly at 6'9". He was just under control the whole time, surveying, is anybody going to pick me up? Is anybody going to stop me? Started with a good block from Sonogo. Again, defense creating offense. But watch Kevin, he's just pushing it. Am I going to stop me? Am I going to stop me? Nope. I'm going to go all the way and try to get 3 the hard way. And again, that's 6'9" coming at you, Tyler Pauly.
How about just one game ago, Nick? It was Marquette that was down 18 in the second half. They rallied to win against Georgetown 64-60 on the road. Tonight, UConn down 18 in the second half, and they have rallied to within 2 on the road of the team that did it their last time out on the road as well.
It's unbelievable how much UConn's energy has totally changed.
Into the paint, fade away, halfway down, that pop back up. There's Gaffney. Shot clock to 10 for Powell for the lead. From 3, it's good, and for the first time since it was 10-9 UConn, the Huskies down 18 in the second are all the way back on top.
Incredible. UConn was flat as a pancake, and now look at him.
And out of bounds. Tyrese Martin just couldn't walk the tightrope on the sideline, and a timeout is here. And look at the energy on the UConn bench. That's a team that's rallied from 18 down to take a 48-47 lead.
Tyler Pauly has been all Mr. Pauly in the second half with 11 points.
Kevin Kugler alongside Nick Baugh. If you stepped away for a while when you saw this game get out of hand, and now you're right back in here, things have changed. 48-47, UConn down 18 with the lead. Part of it is offense, part of it, Nick, is defense. Marquette has gone ice cold and hasn't scored in over 3 minutes.
Well, the energy defensively for UConn has been taking it up another notch, and that's where this team's identity lies. And that's just made offense easier for them. But I like the smaller lineup for UConn with Pauly at the 4. They're a little bit more athletic defensively and a little bit harder to guard offensively.
Here comes the double. 3 on the shot clock. Tyler John gets rid of it to Garcia. Did he get the shot up? He did not. It's a shot clock violation and a turnover back to UConn.
And Kevin, I've always felt like trapping the post forces you to play with energy because you have to fly around, you have to talk, you have to scramble, so it just naturally gets you to play harder.
And it's one of the big adjustments we saw right out of the locker room for Dan Hurley's squad in this second half. They have been doubling that post on nearly every touch, especially by Theo John as Booknight drives inside. The dish underneath to Martin. He can't get the shot up, and the foul on his second try will send him to the line.
Dan Hurley's pushed a lot of different buttons, tried different lineups, some out of necessity because of Booknight or foul trouble. Going small, trapping the post, full court pressing a little bit. That combination of adjustments has just infused energy and changed this game. And now if you're Marquette, can you stop the bleeding and take a deep breath? That's where DJ Carton has to be able to run the team, run the show. He's got to be talking on the floor, calming his guys down. And listen, there are options offensively. Dawson Garcia's had a big game. He's got 20 points. I still like throwing the ball to the post and handling the double team because you're going to have jump shots. So there are solutions for Marquette offensively. They just got to execute it.
The big misses for Tyrese Martin at the line. After the third foul on Theo John, now Marquette back to work in the half court offensively. Carton probing, driving, the floater in and out won't go, and the rebound ripped down by UConn. Booknight has been hampered with that elbow injury. Has not scored in the second half.
I like that he hasn't forced it, though. He hasn't taken any tough, bad shots.
Gaffney trying to thread the eye of the needle too finely there. He could not fit it in. And Marquette will bring it up the floor. Here's Theo John. No double this time. And John going to work, and there's a bucket and a chance for one more at the line.
You said it, Kevin. The one time a double team doesn't come or is a little bit tardy, John's just waiting for it. Just waiting for it. He's got a freshman on him. And again, as a freshman and a sophomore and even stages as a junior, Theo John couldn't do this. He could not score in the post consistently, but now he can, and it changes the Marquette offense.
Gotta wonder how much it helped to have that wrist fixed in the offseason, Nick, to have the comfort that you have from health that helps your game evolve, along with the maturation of becoming a senior.
There's no question. I mean, health really has a direct impact in your confidence level offensively. And let's be honest, Theo John's never been mistaken for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the post scoring the ball. But the fact that he's healthy, the fact that he's a senior, the fact that he has played a lot of games, all shows up offensively this season.
He's got 7 tonight. 3 up and down. That's Tyler Pauly. How good has this young man been? 14 for the senior.
MVP of the second half for UConn has been Pauly.
Here's John. One-on-one again. No double comes. This time misses. Going the opposite direction. Pauly will start it up the floor. Huskies hustling, attacking. Adams foul.
Marquette foul 23. Jamal Cain, third personal. 18 foul.
Third on Jamal Cain. 18 foul on Marquette.
As you see the foul, a little bit of body from Cain. And, you know, at some point, Kevin, if I'm Dan Hurley, you drop something to get book night an opportunity. You know, I know you've got good rhythm and flow, but if you're going to have him back out there, you got to try and get him a chance to make a play. So I'd keep an eye on that guy right there, see if there can't be a special set to see if he can get involved scoring the ball.
Held to just 6 points tonight, partly by Marquette, partly by the injury when McEwen landed on his elbow late in the first half. He has not been the same since. Hart driving, the dump down to Theo John, and a tie-up. UConn with the possession arrow, and it's going to the Huskies.
And who tied him up? Book night. Good strength. I mean, that's a strong guy trying to rip that ball up to the rim. So that elbow has to at least feel decent enough to tie up Theo John.
It may have felt decent as he did it. I'm not sure how it feels now.
Absolutely.
Whaley will hand it off to Cole. In the corner, Pauly's three falls again. He's got 17, and he's hit 4 from behind the arc.
What an offensive set from Dan Hurley to free up Tyler Pauly, using book night as a screener.
Pauly was 3 for 11 on the year from 3. He's 4 of 7 tonight, and Marquette will inbound again.
See book night in the corner. Acted like he was going to be the one coming off the double, but he curled around and screened Pauly's guys in. So a great set from Dan Hurley. And how about Mr. Pauly in this second half?
17 points. As Theo John will go to work against Whaley, and a foul before the shot on Whaley on the floor, his first.
Well, it certainly looks like Marquette is totally committed to throwing the ball in the post to Theo John right now.
Mojo told us our team's at its best when we play through the paint. They are trying to play through that paint in an attempt to come back. In a game, Nick, that 10 minutes of game action ago, Marquette led by 18 points.
This has been a remarkable second half. And a good lesson on what energy can do for you. Just playing hard. It's a skill. It matters. It's important. And it's difference in the second half.
There's some energy. Theo John following his miss with the bucket and the foul. And that'll pump up a team. That'll provide you a lift following your miss with pure hustle.
Incredible. You don't see this very often where the shooter is the one that gets the rebound. What a mental mistake. You're taught in grade school at a free throw, you got to communicate who's checking out the shooter. Nobody checks out Theo John, and he gets an offensive rebound.
Can't convert on the three-point play. Marquette down 3. Huskies will push it up the floor. Good feed underneath. Whaley let the traffic clear and gets 2 more.
Boy, we're seeing really elementary stuff. Not getting sorted out in transition and matched up. Give up 2 points.
Will leave on the edge for McEwen.
What a recovery from Book Night.
McEwen, little bump, the spin, the jumper. No. Offensive rebound, Garcia. And Garcia into the backcourt. This is an over and back, and a turnover to UConn.
Well, Kevin, Hope you got your popcorn for these final 4 minutes, because Tyler Pauley has made this thing interesting, knocking down a triple. Well, it's been all Tyler Pauley in the second half. He had 0 points in the first half, 17 in the second. He's done an incredible job varying what he's done offensively, knocking down a three, getting all the way to the basket, hitting some tough shots. He has infused life into the Huskies and erased a massive deficit, and UConn now holds the lead.
UConn holds the lead, 57-52. Remember, the Golden Eagles, it seems like a game ago, started the second half on a 10-0 run. They were up 18. UConn has outscored Marquette 34-11 after that 10-0 start out of the locker room for Marquette. And I guess we should listen more when Dan Hurley, Nick, says something about one of his players. He said before this game, you know, I really like the way Tyler Pauley is shooting the basketball. He had his best couple of practice days leading into this game, and sure enough, his best couple of practice days have turned into a 17-point second half performance on the road for the Huskies. And again, this is without James Bouknight, who is playing with a bum elbow. In the corner, Pauley again. Why not? Why not Tyler Pauley? Putting on a show.
Boy, a near turnover ends in a three.
20-second half points for Tyler Pauley.
And Dan Hurley's running sets for Pauley, trying to free him up.
And that'll help your bench points number.
32 bench points.
32 bench points. When you've got Pauley out there with 20 points right now. You've got Whaley with 15, and again, the leading scorer in the Big East, Bouknight, with 6 points, and unable to get anything going after the elbow injury. 6-point game. And the rebound by R.J. Cole, and now UConn looking to take a little air out of this one.
Gotta keep using Bouknight running off screens, because he attracts a lot of attention when he's moving with or without the ball.
Bouknight can't get it to go. The tip won't go. Bouknight still down under the basket. 4-on-4 right now. Here comes Bouknight, trailing on the play, almost with the steal, sneaking in behind Jamal Cain.
Good hustle by Bouknight, but there's got to be better talk amongst the Golden Eagles to yell out as Bouknight was trailing the play. There's got to be Golden Eagles screaming it even from the bench to Jamal Cain. I like going into Garcia. He's been the hot hand. You got to try to get him the ball in the post or on the perimeter.
Floats up, no. There's Garcia flipping it back into play. Tipped into the backcourt by Cole, and that'll belong to Marquette. 1:46 to go in the second half, and UConn by 6.
High ball screen, Carton and Garcia. Don't outthink yourself. Those two guys have been your best sources of offense. I think Steve Wojciechowski is going to call timeout and discuss it.
They're over looking at the monitor right now. Under 2 minutes, they can check possession at the monitor just to make sure this was indeed last touched by R.J. Cole, as it was ruled on court.
As it was Garcia that saved it, and we'll see what happens here. I thought Cole was the one that tapped it out. And I think that's Cole who got it last.
You have no doubt about that from that angle. Another look at it from this angle. The hand of Cole got there in front of the hands of Theo John.
Again, Kevin,
the way he reacted to it, Nick, you had a pretty good idea he was the one who touched it.
He was going after it, but just high pick and roll. Here it comes.
Carton. Back it goes to Garcia. The extra pass to Kane in the corner. That three not going to go. Marquette just 5 of 16 from deep in this ballgame.
Pretty good look for Jamal Kane, a guy who's coming off a 25-point performance.
Came in shooting 45% from 3. Kane tonight 0 for 2. 10 on the shot clock. Pauly again. Pauly steps in for a 2. And every single roll is coming up Tyler Pauly right now.
But again, Bouknight was involved in the screening action on that weak side, so it just creates opportunities for Pauly. And now Marquette's got to get aggressive.
Pauly now with a career high 22 points. His career high was 20 at Memphis, February of 2019. Tyler Pauly, who only got 15 games in as a starter last year before his left ACL tore in practice. That ended his year. Back a year later and puts up a second half to remember. 22 second half points to lead UConn back from 18 down in the second half. Cole slipping to the court and a whistle.
Marquette foul.
And a foul is going to be called. That's DJ Carton with the foul.
And Carton, I think he was trying to go for the tie-up, but you get Cole to fall on the ground. You don't want to bail him out with a foul with 7 seconds on the shot clock. And now Cole go to the line.
RJ Cole at the line for UConn.
Opportunity here for RJ Cole. How must this feel for RJ Cole, who grew up wanting to wear that uniform, attended a UConn hoops camp when Jim Calhoun was a coach at age 9, took a picture with Coach, always dreamt of playing at UConn, but didn't get recruited by the previous staff, went to Howard, MEAC Player of the Year, MEAC Rookie of the Year, gets the call to come to UConn, and now playing a big, big role after playing for Bob Hurley in high school, now playing for Dan Hurley at his dream school. And his dream school about to pull off an improbable come-from-behind win on the road at Marquette.
Well, this is a testament. Still got 24 seconds left, but this is a testament with Tyler Pauly on the importance of staying ready when you're a bench guy, because you never know when it's going to be your night. And now he'll go to the free throw line. And he came into this game averaging 4 points per game. But you noted it. Dan Hurley praised the way he had been practicing. And if you stay engaged, good things will happen. And you can see nobody's happier than the teammates are for Tyler Pauly. You see Whaley was bumping his chest there. Bouknight gave him a hug. This guy's really done a nice job preparing himself for a night like this.
Well, Nick, we asked the question with the injury to Bouknight late in the first half, coming into the second half, who was going to be the Husky that stepped up? We now know the answer to that question. It was going to be Tyler Pauly, who was a top 100 recruit out of high school that had never seemed to quite fall into place. But tonight, it's all fallen into place. 23 points career high for Tyler Pauly. 11-point UConn lead. The three will not go. Pauly with the rebound, his fourth. He'll dribble this one out. And from 18 down to 11 up, an improbable come-from-behind road win for UConn as they knock off Marquette 65-54.
Now, Kevin, Dan Hurley said before the game, if there's an advantage we have, it's depth. Well, how about 35 bench points where the lion's share of it comes from Tyler Pauly. But that bench, a.k.a. depth, loomed large when your top dog, your top Husky, James Bouknight, 3 of 12, 6 points, was banged up. But this dude right here, Tyler Pauly, what a performance he put on today.
23 points, all in the second half. Marquette jumped out to an 18-point lead with 15 minutes to go in this ball game. And then it was all UConn after that, outscoring Marquette down the stretch to win it 65-54. For Nick Baugh and our entire FS1 crew, this is Kevin Kugler saying so long from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. UConn, huge come-from-behind win in the